Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of This Is Me Attitude Podcast with me, your one and only host, Rachel Hills, just a girl in her 20s trying to figure this crazy life out and bringing you along the way on every single step. So let's have fun and dive into another episode. Let's start off by catching up a little bit. I haven't seen you in a week, and around here, a week feels like it goes by super fast on one hand, and then on the other hand, it goes really slow because I have all the things to do, all the accomplishments I want to hit, all the mindset things that I've been working on, all of the podcast ideas that I've had, all of the online business work that I've done. Oh my goodness, I have all the things, and I'm sure you do too, and I'm sure that you have a busy schedule, and I'm sure that it has been awesome for you in some ways and not so awesome for you in other ways. And for me, it's been a lot of coaching soccer, which I have truly loved seeing on all the different age groups that I work with, their confidence really build, and just it lights me up to see that I can help coach a sport that I love playing growing up and that I can give back to the generation that's growing up right now. And I hope that that is inspiration for you to do something that is truly on your heart and that you love, because it is very much worth it, even if it's not much in your bank account or much for anything else other than the fact that it makes your heart happy, because it has truly done that for me within soccer. And being on this podcast and being able to share my thoughts and my hopes for you and my motivation, all of that has helped a ton and made me a more confident person. And that is one of the things that I will be talking about today, because as almost every episode that I've done, I'm going to have a topic and break it down into 3 steps. So if you ever want to catch up with me, the best way to do that is over on Instagram at Rachel Fun Hills. Drop whatever you'd like to tell me about, any questions, any ideas for podcast episodes, all of that. I would love to hear from you. I am an open book over there. I talk a lot about all the things that I've been going through, the move to Texas, the move to Wichita back 2 years ago, and all the things. So let's dive into this episode and have some fun. For this episode, I would like to set the scene, set the stage, however you'd like to say it. This idea came to me after a full weekend of being at a church conference on Friday night, to having free time with spending with Jared, to having to coach soccer, to all the different things that happen in my day-to-day life, and a lot of it just happened in the last 2 days. And the topic for today is something near and dear to my heart, because I think of this podcast as me simply talking to a friend. I am currently sitting on the bedroom floor, staring at my bed and speaking into my phone, but I picture me just speaking to one of my friends, that you are one of my friends, and that we're just having a honest, cool, raw conversation, and we're both really into it and both loving the conversation, and that is what I hope that I can give to you as I speak through this topic. And that topic is, are you keeping promises to yourself? I'm not talking about if you're keeping promises to your mother, to your father, to your best friend, to your kids, to your husband, to your boyfriend, to your girlfriend, to your whatever significant other you have, to all the other friends, to your boss, to all the other people in your life. I'm talking about, are you keeping promises to yourself? For me, am I keeping promises to Rachel Hills? Sometimes, yes, and I've realized sometimes no. And like I said, like every other episode, I'm going to break this down into 3 steps that have helped me and will hopefully help you realize that, yes, I am keeping all of the promises to myself, or no, this is something that I need to work on. This is something that I haven't realized I need to work on, or this is something that is coming back again, and dang it, I thought I had it figured out, but I don't, because that last one, that's where I'm at right now. So let's dive into the steps. Step number 1, what are you telling yourself? Step number 2, do they line up with your calling and or your vision? Number 3, are you really putting in the work? Yes, those are the 3 steps. Those are the 3 things that I believe and I've seen to ask yourself and that I've asked myself to truly help. And I want to go through each and every one. I wanted to say them all first so you can see where we're going with this episode and where I'm going with my thoughts, because if I don't keep my thoughts in order and have a notepad in front of me of the things I want to say, it's going to end up all over the place because sometimes I have a little bit of a squirrel brain. So let's dive into number 1, which is, what are you telling yourself? What are you telling yourself that you want to do, that you want to accomplish in a day? Are you saying, oh my goodness, I need to get up at 4 a.m. every single day, Monday through Friday, or the life is going to end? Well, maybe that saying or what you're telling yourself there isn't helping you keeping your promise, because you're not a morning person. You don't get up before 7 a.m. ever because you're just not a morning person. That's not a bad thing. That's not anything that you should beat yourself up on, but you should just not tell yourself you're going to be up at 4 a.m. when your body truly wants to be up at 7 a.m. For myself, I tell myself I need to be up at 5 a.m. and I am usually pretty good at it during the weekdays. I say pretty good because I like to hit my snooze a lot, and I've noticed that if I tell myself I'm up before 5:30, that is a lot nicer and it works a lot better with my schedule because I don't always get to bed earlier than when I want to get up earlier. So maybe you just need to switch some wording in the things that you say you're going to do in a day. Maybe instead of saying I need to work out at 8 a.m. every single day, say I need to get a workout in every day. Don't have a specific time to it because each day may come up differently. And as long as you get the workout in, you're still accomplishing that goal. You're still keeping that promise to yourself. It just didn't happen on the specific time. So maybe not putting in the specific time right now in the season of life would actually help, because then you have the promise kept to yourself. Number 2, do they line up with your calling that God put on your heart? In my case, your vision, your whatever you want to do with your life, however your faith is, however you see it. Do the things that you're promising to yourself. Do they line up with what you want? Do they line up with the life that you want to have? An example of that is, if I want to be an author, per se, and I'm telling myself I need to write 500 words a day, that lines up. If I want to be an author and I say that I need to play a video game for 2 hours a day, that doesn't line up. That keeping that promise to myself would actually not be in the benefit of the overall vision or the overall goal or the overall life that I want to have. And I'm more than likely not going to keep that promise to myself because it just doesn't fit who I am and who I want to become and who I'm changing into becoming right now. So the promises that you are making for yourself, make sure that they line up with what you actually want in life and what you're working towards right now, and that they line up in the season of life that you're in. And when I say the season of life that you're in, I mean just that. Where are you at? Are you just freshly moved to a new state like I did, and you're in a somewhat new job and you're trying to build that up? And then you're also trying to build a business up, and now you have a podcast to build up. Oh, wait, that's everything I'm doing right now. If that's where you're at, and if you're in a similar situation to me where you have a lot going on, maybe saying that you have to run 5 miles a day for 5 days a week and keeping that promise to yourself really isn't beneficial, because you really don't have time for it in your schedule. Instead, maybe you say, okay, I need to work out 6 days a week. It doesn't matter what time I do it, and it doesn't matter what type of workout I get in, as long as I move my body for a half hour a day. That promise, with all the things that I listed going on in my life, for an example, works a hell of a lot better than if I were to be specific and say, nope, I need to run. I need to do that. I need to do this for the workout and everything else. Think about where you're at. Think about what season of life you're in. Think about what you want for your goals. If you have not written out your goals that you want for this week, this day, this month, this year, I highly recommend doing that as well, because then that will lead to the promises that you are writing for yourself and that you will actually keep now, instead of just saying that you're going to do something and not keeping that promise. Number 3, are you really putting in the work? Let that sit with you a minute. All of those goals that we just talked about that you have right now, all of those ideas that you have, all of the things that you want to accomplish today, in the week, in your lifetime, in a year, whatever the length of when you want accomplishment is, are you truly doing the work to do that? Are you truly getting up every single day and going for a run if you want to train for a marathon? Are you truly getting up every single day and working on that business if you want to build a successful business? Are you truly getting up every single day to build a podcast if that's what you want to do? Build anything. It takes time. It takes consistency. And when I asked this to myself, I really realized there was a few aspects of building my online business and just in my personal life that I haven't been doing as well as I thought I was, because I wasn't tracking it. I wasn't seeing where I was improving. And then I realized, oh my goodness, that thing that I thought I was improving on, I actually haven't. I've been staying in the same spot. And like I said before, in my example in my life, I have a lot going on right now. So that is where it is with when moving forward. But I've also noticed me saying I have a lot going on right now, sometimes I keep that as like then I just can't do anything else. And I am using that as like a crutch, and I don't have to keep the promises to myself because I do have a lot going on right now. That is a bunch of BS. It won't work. I do need to keep the promises to myself. And with me saying all of this, I hope that either makes you realize like, oh shoot, like I have this one aspect of my day-to-day that I really need to work on because I'm not keeping my promises in doing my workouts, in eating healthy, in spending more time with my kids if you have kids, in working hard on my online business if you have an online business that you want to make flourish, for lack of better words. And each one of these, each reason why I have for the 3 reasons, and the reason that I am talking about keeping your promises to yourself overall, is for a bigger overall thing of confidence. The more you keep promises to yourself, the more confident you're going to be in yourself, in your ability, in the fact that you can bet on yourself and go, yes, I will accomplish that thing. Yes, this is going to be hard. Yes, it's going to take work. Yes, I may not always love each part or aspect of it, but I know I will accomplish it because I am confident in myself, and I am confident in my faith, and I'm confident in where I'm at right now in this life. Now, hopefully all of that was motivating and builds your confidence. And let me know if any of the 3 steps helped you. Just to recap what all 3 steps are really they're questions that I've asked myself that have really helped. And those are: 1, what are you telling yourself? 2, do they line up with your calling and or vision? 3, are you really putting in the work? Da-da-da-dum! Thank you. Just like that, we made it through another episode of This Is Me Attitude podcast. I cannot say thank you enough for taking time out of your busy schedule, out of your days, to come listen to what I have to say. If you heard this and you're like, dang, I gotta listen to more, I gotta see more, I gotta share this with my friends, please go share it over on Instagram and tag me at Rachel Fun Hills. And until next time, have a fantastic rest of your day.